Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Married or Something podcast. My name is Sariah.
And my name is Lee.
And we are the Scotts, and we are excited to be back for another episode. It's been a couple of weeks because life has been lifing.
Yeah, you could say that.
We just ain't been in a position to be able to do another episode. So,
And this thing is not about to cause me some stress.
right.
So,
Right.
I mean, if life be lifing and something gotta go, sorry, fellas. we ain't gonna be on the airways for your listening pleasure. But hey, it is what it is. Priorities.
Yeah, we got to pace ourselves and prioritize.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
So what we talking about for the peoples?
Well, let's give a couple of updates. So, Cousin Terry,
Cousin
we
Terry.
did an episode answering Cousin Terry's question, and so she did respond, and she said that that we addressed her question in a profound manner, and that she literally took notes.
Yay.
And there were so many nuggets that she was able to take away, and it helped her a great deal in learning. So I'm sorry, let me read it correctly. She said, "This has helped me a great deal in learning that it's okay to say no."
Well, if that's what you got, yes and amen.
Yeah.
That's what you got, yes and amen. It is definitely okay for you to say no.
Mm-hmm.
And for everybody out there listening, it is okay to say no. No is a complete sentence.
Yep. I'm learning. I'm getting there. But I still be like, no, maybe.
Nah, well, that's not my ministry. No is my natural state.
Yeah, I still be struggling. But anyway, so we did have a question left on our last podcast.
All right, let's talk about it.
And this question is coming from Deidre. And she said, "Are you going to tell us your story of how you guys got saved and when you guys knew how you were called to do ministry as a young couple?"
Just like as individuals?
I don't know, baby. I guess however you wanna
Okay.
to answer, whatever angle you want to come at it from.
So I mean, from my vantage point, there are a couple of ways. So saved by the definition, by the letter of the law, or of in a Pentecostal apostolic church, is the day that you speak in other tongues. Well, that's what it was when I was coming up. I don't know about anybody else.
About this new church.
I don't know about this new church, but that's what it was. So, so I think I got saved relatively young. We used to do tarrying services as kids. Like in children's church, we had tarrying services,
Right.
like just for us.
That's intense.
Yeah, that's
That sounds really, really intense.
Yeah.
I grew up Baptist. We had a little Sunday school lesson, some cookies and some bunch, and we went home.
We did it, and we did it hard. Like,
Yeah.
we went all the way away. So,
Ooh, Lord.
so
Jesus.
we had tarrying services, and it wasn't like the adult tarrying services where like you got breaks for songs and you got music and stuff. Like we ain't had nothing. Like it was straight.
It was just straight Jesus and clapping.
Straight Jesus clapping, hallelujahs, snot. All
Y'all ain't
of
had
it.
no song. Ain't no Jesus love me this I know.
Ain't no Jesus. No. You go for it. So so I gotta say relatively young in terms of just speaking in tongues.
Right.
But I think I didn't get I'll say this, I don't think my faith became my own until high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think while speaking in other tongues is important occurrence, I don't think that is the climax of a believer's faith walk. Even though it might be lauded as that, I think that is the all right. Like yes, it happens. It's an occurrence. Great. But like once you start there, like you have to build and grow, just like any relationship. You got to build it. So I didn't start building my relationship with God like for myself until high school.
Yeah.
And the question in terms of like when did I know I was supposed to do ministry?
Well, as a young couple.
As a young couple. So like together.
I guess so.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it was just part of who we were. It was part of our individual identities, and then as we grew together, like we met in souls. That was ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were birthed in ministry, so
right.
It wasn't a hard pivot. Like we just kind of did what we normally do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what it is to me. So
yeah. I agree when you said like your faith became your own. Mm-hmm. Because now, although I grew up Baptist, I too was saved at like an early age, because like, you know, the scripture is like, confess with your mouth, believe with your heart that mm-hmm. Jesus is Lord, get baptized in Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And so I did that very young. But I do agree that there has to come a point in your life where it's no longer just the God of your parents, yep. or the God that you just heard about in church as you were growing up, but you have to have like a personal revelation and a personal relationship with God yourself. And for me, that happened in college at ORU.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I guess it was sophomore year. I remember we used to have fall revival, mm-hmm. and it was a Thursday night. Daniel Kalinda was the speaker, and he was like the right hand of Reinhard Bonnke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but Daniel Kalinda was the main speaker for that night. And I don't even know what that man preached about, but whatever it was, like the altar call had me totally wrecked. And I went back to my room and I was just like crying on the floor. Like it was just, I was just totally undone. Right. Mm-hmm. And then like, I literally felt like the Lord, like, lay on top of me almost, like
lay on top.
I know it was just, but I
that
felt
sound like a quartet song.
But I did, like I felt his like tangible presence in the room, and that was the first night that I had spoken tongues. And so because ORU was really big on that, like yeah. I don't know if you were there at that point yet.
I mean, there were several speakers when I was there that like emphasized, mostly international speakers. Mm-hmm. They emphasize speaking in other tongues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Pentecostal.
Right. So like to you, that was normal. But for me as a Baptist girl, I was like, why is this like what?
To me, it's just another day that the Lord has kept us.
Right.
You ain't impressing me with them tongues.
Right. And I'm not saying that as a Baptist that I was like, what? Why they do that? No. Like that is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is just that it was not emphasized in the Baptist church, mm-hmm. like in other, denominations or whatever. So, but yeah, so that was like when I guess got my personal revelation and personal relationship and really started pursuing that. But I agree with you when it comes to like being called into ministry as a young couple. Like we don't have like this, like Jesus cracked the sky and he spoke and said, Lee and Sariah, this is what I'm calling you to do. Like, no.
2 white doves.
And that's how we knew that like we do not have like a fancy story for that.
No.
We were just individually working where we were supposed to work. Like we
met each other in ministry. So
right, we were doing what the Lord had called us to do individually. And I think I talked about this a couple episodes ago where I was saying that, well, the prophecy that I got was like, if the guy that you are interested in is not, if his calling or if his purpose does not line up with yours, or they don't complement each other, then you know that that's not the one.
Not of the Lord.
Right. And so I knew that I was supposed to be in ministry and serving in ministry in some kind of capacity. And so were you.
Well,
so that's,
I mean,
so we
like,
just did it together.
I didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose me.
Period.
I didn't choose all this. Like, it came to me. I was trying to fight it, flee it, all that. And it found me in the backwoods of upstate New York. So,
right.
like, no matter where I went, it followed me. I was like in New York, like just randomly, I found myself like leading this church ministry in New York, and just like, I didn't want to do all this, but I mean, when it's who you are, like the Bible says, your gift makes room for you. Like, when it's who you are and it's who you're meant to, like what you're meant to do, like other people who are consecrated and have a connectivity with the Holy Spirit, they will recognize that calling in you and they will propel you. You don't have to propel yourself. So no matter where you go, like, ministry will follow you. There will be opportunities that will follow you. There will be people that will follow you. There will be assignments that will follow you. So no matter where you go, that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's us.
Right. So, DJ, I hope we answered your question. Let us know in the comments if we did or not. So let's go on to our story time.
All right. What's story time?
And this, you know what? This might have to be a 2-part episode.
What's story time?
We'll see where we get to.
I'm nervous.
Right. So we talked about our engagement last episode. So now it's time to talk about the wedding.
You go first.
Oh, gosh.
You go first.
So we were engaged.
I'll fill in the gaps.
Right. We were engaged for a year. And we get to the wedding. We chose July 15th, 2017 as our wedding day because, as I've mentioned before, or as we talked about before, I used to be a teacher. And so I knew that I did not want to celebrate my wedding anniversary during the school year. I wanted to celebrate in the summer so that I'd be off and be able to travel and celebrate however we wanted to without having to worry about going to work. So we chose that date. And I mentioned this before too, that I was not the type of girl to like fantasize about my wedding day, like just know every detail, be all fancy. Like I didn't have that. What I did have was a Pinterest board that I had created with things that seemed really, that seemed nice as I was scrolling on Pinterest. But I think I started that Pinterest board in like 2012. And so in 2017, when it came time to plan, or 2016, 2017 came time to plan, that's really all that I had looked at, or really was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember I said I wanted to do this and I said I wanted to do this. But it was like, Sariah, that was 2012 you. That was high school Sariah. What does adult Sariah want to do? And I didn't have anything like that. So anyways, so I went, back to my Pinterest board. And so I chose the colors of turquoise, coral, and fuchsia as our wedding colors. And I mean, it worked because it was summer. So bright, colors. As far as decorations go, like there were a couple of things that were sent to me that I kind of liked, but I kind of didn't. And because I really didn't have like a vision and like an overall like theme for the wedding, I keep thinking of like that Tyler Perry scene where it's like, I give you Paris in springtime. Like,
and then they had niggas like,
hanging from the ceiling,
hanging from the ceiling,
playing a harp,
right?
with all them flowers everywhere. Like
who thought this through? Like,
it's a Tyler Perry film, okay?
Y'all just had niggas in the ceiling. This is a Tarzan
Like, what are you
movie.
hanging from?
This is a Tarzan movie. This ain't no. I know Paris. This ain't Paris. It's like two black people in Paris. You got niggas from the ceiling. This is not what you said it was.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't have anything like that. So anyways, yeah, and I really didn't have, like, it was really just like me and my family that like really like planned the wedding and did the decorations and all that kind of stuff. We decided to get married in St. Louis at Lively Stone, instead of going back to my hometown to get married.
Talk about it.
And so that was stressful.
Talk about it.
Because with me and my family planning a wedding that's 9 hours away from where we are. So my family's trying to plan in Oklahoma.
So why did you as a bride choose to get married where the groom's family was and not where the bride's family was?
Because honestly, I wasn't even thinking about family location. I was just thinking about just venue. And I thought Lively Stone was so beautiful, like with the stained glass windows and just, I mean, just the structure, like the pipe organ in the background, like Lively Stone is absolutely gorgeous for a wedding. The center aisle is gorgeous, like the detail in like the pews, and I mean, it is gorgeous.
It's a good spot. I'm just saying, because usually, but we could have found like a venue. I don't know what the venue space is like in Lawton, but we could have found like somewhere in Lawton to go.
We could have, but one of the options was the church that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing about the church that I grew up in was that
it doesn't have a center aisle.
It doesn't have a center aisle. And I was like, I am not going to walk down the left or right. I will be down the center aisle, saints. Ain't doing that. So
y'all gonna cut an aisle in these pews,
right? We gonna rearrange this church house. I know that much, because I am not walking down no left and no right. No, center or nothing.
We gonna cut a hole ourselves.
Now there was another church downtown that had a center aisle, but there was no like emotional connection to that event space. And so I kind of wanted something that was going to be special, and like we had like an actual connection to. So for me, I was just like, okay, well, let's just do it in Lively Stone, because it was at least an emotional connection, like for you, like family. What am I trying to say? Family. There we go.
Yeah, it's where my parents were married. And where a lot of people were married. Like they'd be like, "Oh, I had my wedding at Lively Stone." And it's like, okay, got it. We just was at Bishop and Lady Coleman's house, and they gave us their book, right? And it was so good.
It was so beautiful.
Like the pictures that they took even back then was just like, yo, you cannot. These are priceless. Yeah, you cannot recreate these pictures. And anybody like trying to have a wedding now, you will never get what they got. Yeah. In terms of just the nostalgia, the just the angle of the pipes and all just everything, Yeah.
Whoever their photographer was in their
Westridge.
bag.
That's what it's like. They was very proud to say Westridge. I was like, okay, all right. Come on, Westridge.
Yeah, it was really good. So so back to the wedding. So that was the venue. But so then it was like the next thing was trying to find where we were going to do the reception. Oh Lord. So we wanted to have two receptions. We wanted to have one in the basement of the church
for everybody.
Right, for everybody. And then we wanted
was going to send the saints home.
Right, and then send the saints home and then go have another, like a private reception that was going to be more of like the party reception, right? Yeah. But The basement wasn't finished.
Nope.
The basement was was under
still not
construction, but it's closer now than it was in 2017.
Praise God.
Praise the Lord. We making progress.
Making progress.
But yeah, so then that meant that, okay, we're not going to have 2 receptions. We're only going to have 1. Okay, so now where is that going to be? So my mom did, Google search, looking at different reception venues and things like that. And then we found a place in South County.
Wasn't South County. It was like Sunset Hills.
Isn't that South County?
It's close, but it's not the same.
Okay, well, anyway, so yeah, so Sunset Hills, which is like southwest, I guess. But anyways, I'm still trying to figure out my directions up here. But anyways, so we did that, and the venue was really nice. Like the package that they gave you was like, you got the DJ, the cake, the catering, you got photography. Like it was like a whole package deal. And because it was a newer event space that they had just opened up, like they were like running a special and everything, so it was like the most like cost efficient like place and option to go with. So we did that, and like honestly, most of the package like we didn't even use, because like you brought your friends, your classmates from ORU in to do the video and to do like the photography.
Well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out that way.
What you mean? They was there.
They didn't do not for the venue.
Oh, yeah. So not for the reception. So so we have no pictures.
No pictures from the reception.
Except for like some pictures that people tagged us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Other than that, like we have no pictures from our reception.
Nope.
So I don't even know who was there, what it looked like for real.
I have a vague idea, but
yeah,
if you was there
and you got pictures, please send it. Because we don't got anything.
Then you got a piece of history. We don't know.
Right, because we don't have anything. And so that was that. And yeah, so let's see. So the week leading up to the wedding, I didn't have like a bachelorette party. I did like a bachelorette week where I had like my maid of honor, and then another one of my bridesmaids was able to come, and we spent like the entire week just kind of doing fun stuff around St. Louis. Like we went to the zoo, and I had to do like some last minute wedding stuff, like paying for the cake and getting nails done and things like that. So we just kind of hung out for the week leading up to the wedding, and that's what I did instead of like a bachelorette party. What did you do for guys?
We went bowling.
You went bowling, okay.
That was it.
That is so on brand for you. So on brand to go bowling.
That was a blessing and consistency, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, we just went bowling. And it was just one day. It was cool. Like, we had fun. I mean, we're just low maintenance guys. Like, we didn't really need much. Colby was in town. He's always funny.
Yeah.
Colby, CJ, of course, my brothers, Mark. Yeah, we just hung out. And then same thing, like the morning of, we hung out the morning of, just waiting around for the wedding, which just waiting.
All right. Okay, so let's get there.
Do we want to get there?
Yeah, let's get there.
Okay, so let's start. So let's go. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
So the wedding. There was decisions made, and in terms of like the venue, like Lively Stone. Now my family does have like huge ties to Lively Stone, the current building, 4015 St. Louis Avenue. For those who don't know, huge ties to that building. And yes, my parents did get married there. However, I was adamant to say like, hey, we will get married wherever my wife says. because one thing that I am not gonna, that's not gonna be a fight going forward in our marriage is like, oh, I had to get married where you said no, 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 no. This is her wedding. It's my marriage, but it's her wedding. So she had free reign. If she wanted to get married in Lawton, we would have got married in Lawton. Probably would have had a reception in St. Louis for everybody, but like we wouldn't have. Yeah, it wouldn't have been you wouldn't have had a contest with me. But she decided to make a Lolly Stone, of course, because of the emotional connection. Cool. We do that. It was stressful because her family wanted to be more involved than proximity would allow. So they had to, I guess, depend on my family, which proved to be a little bit more cumbersome than it should have been. However, got through it. Everybody chipped in. Everybody, got through it. So we get to the wedding. The day of, I think the ceremony was supposed to start at what? Noon?
I thought it was supposed to start at 1.
Was it 1?
I think it's supposed to start at 1.
I don't remember.
Because I remember leaving the hotel about 12:45, 12:30, 12:45. So I think it's supposed to start at 1.
So I remember we got there at like 9. We got there at like 9 in the morning. Or at least I got there. Maybe I told everybody to get there at 10 and I got there at 9. And like, I was there just by myself. I went to the altar and I was just crying, for like 20 minutes, just crying. It wasn't a cry like, like the Garden of Gethsemane crying. Like,
right, take this cup from me,
Lord. Like, no.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
No, it wasn't that type of cry. It was like a, I'm trying to think of it was it was a Mary Magdalene type of deal. It's just like, whatever my best is or whatever, like her, like the alabaster box she had. It's like, God, I have done nothing. I don't believe I've done anything right or up to the standard that I think that you deserve. But I really care about giving this to you. And I know with my track record, I have done nothing right. So, like, save this marriage from me now so that this can actually be something that we can give to you and that you can be proud of. And that's what that moment was. It was just me, like, just expressing my desire to give him something that was worthy of him. And, if I did nothing else right, like, God, let me get this one right. So that was that. And then, okay, got that out of my system. We got that, start getting ready for the ceremony. We noticed that, hey, we haven't eaten yet. Like, we just came to the church, but we haven't eaten yet. We probably should eat before the ceremony. Just like, no, that's a good idea. So we didn't want to send any of the wedding party out just in case, something happened. So we sent our security, which was Gary.
Yeah.
We sent Gary on a QT run to get everybody food. And but we did it too late. So
Oh, okay.
so again, we're thinking, all right, we're on time. We're just gonna do it, and then we're gonna go get something to eat. And then the time hits, and the ladies are not there. It's like, all right, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes.
Don't do that.
They showed up about, what was it? If we started at, if we were supposed to start at 12, they showed up at like 12:45.
It was supposed to start at 1.
If it showed up at 1, they showed up at 1:45. They did not show
Well, the limo driver was driving slow.
Okay. All right.
She was driving slow.
So transit time was not factored into the actual.
It wasn't. I was still. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I was still on Oklahoma time. Okay.
And that is a problem.
And listen, in Oklahoma,
everybody is on Central Standard Time in the Midwest.
No.
And it, when we say 1 o'clock, we did not say 1 o'clock Oklahoma time. We said 1 o'clock. So the people was there, and they were gracious. Nobody really was like, impatient.
Right, because
like
people
that.
know when you go to weddings that you wait for the bride.
And they definitely waited for the bride. Like we were sitting in the back, like they playing around and just like, hey, you sure she coming? You sure she coming?
I was coming.
Look,
I was coming.
It was questionable for about 15 minutes. They were like, hey, you sure she coming? Well, I think she here.
And listen, like, I don't even know why we were late, because we woke up, I mean, in plenty of time. I don't know if we woke up at least between 7 and 9, at least, right? And
I was there at 9.
Well, listen. So my maid of honor, she's like, y'all want Starbucks? And we were like, sure. So she goes and gets us Starbucks. And I mean, we're getting ready, makeup's getting done, hair's getting done. I'm just, so I don't know why it's, we didn't even like take pictures like that. Like that's something else that I just was like, oh, okay. But like we didn't really like get pictures like that.
If you would have stopped and got pictures, you probably would have started the ceremony at 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, most likely.
So,
but yeah. So anyway, we leave. I do remember us leaving at about like 12:45, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not bad. We got time, because I didn't think it was that far to get to the church. But I mean, hey, like I said, I think the limo was just driving slow.
Right, it was the limo's fault.
So we get there. We're driving and everything. We get there, and I think one of my bridesmaids was like, I gotta go pee. And then the rest of them was like, oh, me too. And then somebody was like, well, okay, if one of you go, then everybody goes. And we all might as well go right now before the ceremony starts. So everybody gets out, and they leave me in the car, and I'm just sitting there, and my dad comes out, and that was the first time I had seen, my dad, of course, for that day. And I just remember my dad looking so handsome. My dad was in an all white suit.
All white.
And I was not like, I didn't know what my dad was going to wear, because I did not tell my dad what to wear, nothing. I didn't even think about that. I was like, okay, daddy. I mean, I know you're going to walk him down the aisle, but I didn't think about what he was going to wear. But my daddy was in an all white suit. I think he probably had on white shoes too. And he had all the men had turquoise boutonnieres, and he looked so nice, and he was just like, you ready? And I was like, I guess so. I don't know, daddy. Because like I had already started crying in the car, because my mom, she looks at me and she's like, I am so proud of you. And I was like, Mom, I got lashes on today. You can't be doing that to me. And then she started crying. I was crying, and I knew my eyelash was coming up. It was a lot going on in that car. So yeah, so then somebody comes out, and it's like, okay, all your bridesmaids are done. They're ready to go. And so, we start the wedding and walk down the aisle. And I guess I was looking scared, or something as I'm walking down the aisle, because my dad, he like turns to me and he whispers and he's like, "This is the longest walk of your life, isn't it?" And it made me laugh so hard. And so like the pictures that we have of us walking down the aisle and me smiling, that's what I'm smiling at and smiling about, is because my dad had said that to me. And because I said like, I guess I was looking scared or something. I don't know.
Well, I didn't see the joke or anything. All I saw was you laughing on the way up. And just like, okay, cool. She's in good spirits. We're late, but hey, you know, as long as she's in good spirits, I guess.
Yeah.
So we the service went well. The wedding went well.
Well, it did go well. But you know, something that was funny, I don't even know if you know this or not.
What don't I know?
So the person who was in charge of the ring, your ring, was my maid of honor, right?
Yeah.
So I get down the aisle, we're standing up there, and she whispers to me, "I forgot the ring in my purse in the back." I was like, "What?" So she had to motion to my brother to go find her purse somewhere in the back of the church and go get your ring, because she didn't have it. So somehow my brother, he found it and got the ring to her. But yeah, that was, that could have been bad.
No, I made sure I had mine on deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so wedding went well.
Yeah, I sang to you.
You sang to me. I played for you.
Yeah, I had no idea, because on the program it literally said Sariah's tribute, and there was like nothing for you. Like
I didn't want to write anything, because like if I would have wrote it, then like people would have been kind of thinking about, all right, what is it gonna be? I didn't want that. I just wanted it to just be natural. Like, hey, it just happens. Yeah. So after Sariah, I knew that you were gonna do something. Didn't know what, but you do something. It's just like, all right, it's kind of worked out, because we did like a rap battle or something. Like she did it, and I'm like, all right, I got the mic now. Yeah. So
I sang a song by Tamala Mann.
She did. I've never heard that song before.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, because I can't even remember what the name. That's what it is, called Heaven, the love song, and that was on her 2009 album. And the first time I heard it, I was like, I am going to sing this at my wedding. And I did. You
did sing at your wedding, and you did an amazing job. I was trying to figure out, did she make this song up? Like, did she write this? I'm trying to figure it out.
I did. It was a Tamala Mann song.
I'm looking around like are y'all with her? Like, shoot, because Tim is playing it like, like nothing. I'm
right.
Like,
look, and I missed the intro.
You do that.
I do that quite often.
You do that.
My bad. I'm sorry, Tim. I missed the intro, but I do. Like, I remember rehearsing that with him. Like, I don't know why I was there. Well, because I had moved up to St. Louis about a month before the wedding, and so somehow I had gone to the church, and I remember going to it used to be the women's dressing room for the choir. Now it's the production room. Yeah. But when that was still the dressing room, I remember, we had a keyboard in there, and that's where we rehearsed.
That's good. Yeah. We rehearsed in the sanctuary.
Well, of course you could.
Yeah.
You're fancy like that.
I know people in medium places.
Right.
But so you sung Heaven. Mine was, started off with Bless the Broken Road.
By Rascal Flatts.
Then went from that to God Be the Glory. And then that turned into a shout.
Yeah.
And then we shouted to Here Comes the Bride.
Did we? Is that what it was? I don't even remember. I just remember shouting. We did shout at our wedding.
Right. We did shout at the wedding. So it
We
was. I
do.
knew when I did "To God Be the Glory," like
Because you already
it
knew.
was gonna be something. So then I knew that, and then I knew Chris was gonna be Chris.
Right.
So it's just like.
Woo, yes.
So he was
Woo,
gonna do
Lord.
himself, and I'm like, all right, yep, we gonna have a moment.
Yes.
So
And it was a
then,
moment.
yeah, we had a moment, and then like at the end of to God be the glory, to God be the glory, to God be the glory for all the things, and
Mm-hmm.
then it like track, and then here comes the bride, da, 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 da,
I don't even.
da, 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 da. Na, 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 na,
Oh,
na, na,
wow.
na. That happened. Yeah, I don't
I don't
have
even
a.
remember that.
Well, you were in already,
I was
probably.
already
You
gone.
was already in. So like
Yeah.
we did that. We did that. I think twice in the
Mm-hmm.
rotation, and then I I let so I was on the organ,
Mm-hmm.
and I let Tim like slide over to the organ,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just came down while they were still
Who was on
shouting.
drums?
DJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, DJ was on the drums.
Okay.
Um,
I never saw Up in the Music Box. Like I knew Tim was there,
mhm.
but I didn't know who else
Who
was
else
up
was there?
there.
Yeah, DJ. DJ was on drums that day.
Okay.
So, so that happens. So we get into the limo, and we don't know
Well,
what we doing.
no. Go back
What?
because after you got off the keyboard,
Uh huh.
you acting like that was just it, and
What?
then you went in.
What you mean?
I mean, you don't shout, but
No.
you started backing up the aisle crying, and then that got everybody else riled up again.
That
So
got everybody riled
that
up.
got everybody else riled up again.
That
So
got
it's like
everybody
everybody
riled
had
up.
calmed down, and then Lee started going in, and then everybody else started hucking and bucking again. And then my mama started shouting, and there was it was a lot.
It was pure pandemonium.
It was pandemonium.
Pandemonium going on in there.
Yes.
But hey, that's the wedding for you.
Right.
So, so yeah, I mean, it was emotional, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like when I came back down, I came up a certain way, and then I felt like I was coming down a different way.
Mm.
Like like the whole, like the crowd, like you at the altar, my grandparents, godmama, like I'm seeing it all at the same time, and it just gave me a different perspective. So then when I coming down, it's like it felt different.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I mean, it was emotional. Like, yeah, we about to go into the rest of our lives. Like, this is actually about to be for real, for real.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, we do that, of course. Exchange the I do's, exchange the rings. You make Kiss the Bride. We walk out.
Was it whoa?
Yeah,
You got the best of my love. Yep.
So we doing that, and then for Lively Stone weddings, all Lively Stone weddings, you come back down, and then the receiving line wraps around and comes to see you, so that they're not getting you in the back, they're getting you in the front.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of people walked around. That was an experience.
Yeah.
And then after we take a few shots, wedding parties, and families and whatnot, we get into the limo, and we just driving around.
Right, because our reception didn't start until 7, I think.
Yeah, it was not.
Yeah, it wasn't directly after.
So we had time to kill.
Yeah, so we just rode around Forest Park with no pictures. Like, that would have been the time to take pictures, but we didn't.
I mean, we didn't think about it. We didn't think about it then. And then also, it was just like, there was just so much stuff happening.
That's a lot.
It was a lot of stuff happening. So, I got to figure out who's driving my car back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Who's going to get this person. This person wants to come, but they don't have a ride. So, got to make sure that they get to the reception. When is the reception again?
Right.
And then,
Right.
so we go back to the hotel for you to change. You change, and then lipstick gets on your dress.
Oh gosh.
Lipstick gets on your dress, so then
You
we
know,
have
and
a
that stain
wardrobe
is still in my dress.
it's wardrobe malfunction.
It was awful. I about cried. I was like, no, because I'm wearing a white dress. And so like I literally just, and the good thing was is that my dress was too long anyways. So I just purposely like bunched up my dress in that particular area to hold it up as I walked so nobody would notice.
It worked. Didn't nobody know.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing. And that
Wow.
stain is still in that dress because I've never worn that dress again.
Wow.
And
I mean,
I'm pretty sure now I cannot fit it.
I mean, you might be able to later, but it's
Later, but not right now. After 2 kids, oh no.
whatever. Anyway, but you can get it dry clean though.
Yeah, but 6 years of a set-in lipstick stain?
Maybe it comes out.
Okay.
It comes out.
Yeah. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, so then we go to our reception. And I mean, and our reception, I remember our reception being fun. Our DJ, he was a little,
That's another thing. The DJ was on the house, and you cannot argue with free. However,
he wasn't free.
he was free.
He was wrapped up in the bundle, but he wasn't free.
He was free, and can't argue with that. But I probably should have called Montez. Probably should have called Montez to do the reception. Because
Who is Montez?
So Montez is DJ Bounce STL. He is
Okay.
well-known DJ. Grew up in the church.
He grew up in Livingstone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in Livingstone. We got major ties to him, major ties to the family.
Yeah.
When we did the event at what's that place called? The St. Charles, like big place. With the teens during Power Conference. I'm trying to figure out what that place is called.
The rec room or something?
I don't know what it's called, but
I don't know. But I know what you're talking about. I wasn't able to go to the event, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
He did
the
that.
rec hall.
Yeah,
It's something like that.
Something like that. But he did that event.
Okay.
And anytime we want him to do something, all we do is call him. He don't charge us. He don't do anything. He just comes and does it. That's just his full-time livelihood. So I really just wasn't thinking. I was thinking about so much other stuff.
Yeah. There was a lot.
A lot of stuff going on, but that he probably would have had. He probably definitely would have had everybody dancing.
Yeah.
At the party. Now, was there people dancing? Yes. But there's a difference between, okay, this is going to be over the airwaves, so I'm not gonna say it to get us canceled. But there's a difference in the type of parties that
certain demographics.
Just certain demographics have. It's like that this is a song that we dance to.
Yeah.
You know that this is a song that you gonna hear at our parties.
Right.
Yeah. Those songs were not in the playlist. So I'm gonna
leave that right there.
leave that where it is.
So yeah, so our reception really wasn't traditional. I would say either. I asked my dad. I said, "Daddy, you want to do a father-daughter dance?" He's like, "No." I was like, "But Daddy, you know what? No." Oh, okay, Daddy. So we didn't do that. Lee and I didn't have like our first dance. No. Didn't do that.
People was like, "Well, we're waiting for the first dance." Well, you gonna be waiting for
right, because we're not doing it.
We ain't doing it the first dance.
We're not doing. Now we did end up dancing together, but it wasn't like our first dance or anything. No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we wasn't gonna do that and just have everybody staring at us while we sway to the music of whatever the DJ was gonna play. No.
Yeah,
because we didn't have a song,
right.
To be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be our first dance song. No,
yeah, and so going back to songs, so the song that the wedding party walked down to was Ribbon in the Sky by Stevie Wonder.
Stevie.
And that really wasn't because I love the song or I've always, it was just, I Googled like songs to walk down the aisle to. And I listened through some songs and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Okay, let's do this one. But there really was no intentionality behind it. And then I walked down to Here Comes the Bride, but Tim played it on the organ and he just made it like really big and like really like dramatic. But yeah, that's what I walked down the aisle to. Like I know some people would be walking down the aisle to like Whitney Houston and all the, I didn't.
That's that song. That's that Jamie Foxx song. I was talking to Marco on Sunday. I said there was this song that I played in high school that everybody was doing at weddings, and it's like when I first saw you, I said, "Oh my."
Oh, from Dreamgirls.
Yep. That's my dream. That's my dream.
Yeah.
Like everybody was doing that. So
right.
I learned how to play that because girls could recognize that. It's like, oh, he can play.
That's what they sounded like.
Yep. Oh, he can play. It's like, okay. But yeah, so but we didn't have really any connectivity to those songs because a couple of things. Number one, we're church babies.
Yeah.
All right, so it ain't like we have a huge Rolodex of songs. Like
love songs. Yeah. I didn't have it.
Just gonna walk down the aisle to I love you more than anything.
Right.
You just gonna walk down the aisle. Walk down the aisle and never would have made it.
Oh man. If we wasn't careful, that was gonna be it, man.
Just walk down.
Oh gosh, help us, Lord.
Yep, that's what it was gonna be.
For your glory would have been
right. For your glory, yep.
Right,
that's what it's gonna be. But we didn't have a lot of songs, so
yeah, we didn't. So it was hard. It was hard to pick. Hard to pick songs. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't too concerned with the music anyway.
Yeah.
I wasn't, because just like I don't want it to be something that it's not. There's a whole lot of musicians here, and yeah, I don't need that headache. Yeah. So we have the wedding, we have the reception. We're pretty much at the end of the night. Everybody's so tired. Everybody's
so tired.
Everybody's just like
zombies,
half like dead. Yeah. So then like either one of my groomsmen or one of your bridesmaids, they were like, okay, you guys can leave. Like,
oh yeah,
they wanted us to leave, like get out.
Yeah, because we were still staying around. Like, are we gonna clean up? Like, what's next? Like, what are we supposed to do?
Right, because that's how we wired.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, you guys can just go and leave, and we'll take care of it.
Right.
Like,
we were like, what?
All right.
Yeah. Well, but and so when we leave, we go to our townhouse.
Yeah.
To our apartment, and that was
the first time that I stayed there.
Yeah.
Because we bought it and I just moved you in there, and I was staying at my
your
mom
parents'
and dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we stayed there, and it was yep.
Not too much.
Not too much at all. Like, the wedding night is not the night. Like,
it's not.
It's not the night. I need to dispel these rumors, bro. Like, just have the expectation. If you do go big with the wedding and you do go big with the reception and all that type of stuff, I understand you ain't got the energy to make it like a memorable night. You do not have the energy. Okay, you might do it, go through the motions,
right?
But it ain't gonna be
right
what you thought it was gonna be,
right?
All right, you might as well just go ahead, chalk that up. Like, hey, look.
We did it.
But that's
about
over,
it.
right?
That's about it.
Let's pick this up tomorrow.
Exactly. Let's circle back to this.
Yeah, let's pick this
in the
up
morning.
tomorrow, right? Because
Yeah.
you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Shoot.
It was rough.
Right? So yeah, that was the wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. There were parts of it that were truly special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truly, truly special. And then other parts is just like, it's nice. Again, my thing is I definitely would have wanted a better DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted I probably should have thought about it differently, because I was thinking, silly me, I thought that we was gonna be on time.
Don't.
So
You act like I was hours and hours and hours late.
45 minutes late. And then
That's
not only
it.
that, but it wasn't just you. Like, our wedding went longer than I expected to,
Oh, okay.
because I didn't want a long wedding. Like, that was not the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But Dad get to talking. Dad get to talking. All right, now let's bring up another preacher. Grandpa, come on, get up and say a few words. All right.
Well, Grandpa did our ring ceremony.
He did. And again, now looking back on it, I cherish that.
Yeah.
I remember that. But it still took a long time. So, like,
right. And then we had prayer.
Right.
So, like, my parents and your mom came up and prayed for us.
Mm-hmm.
And,
presentation of the roses.
Yeah.
So it was a nice, meaningful ceremony. However, I didn't think it would take that long. Mm-hmm. So me just in my doing, like, all the scenarios in my head, like, okay, we'll do this and then this and then this and then this. Then we're gonna be out by this time. So then like, it didn't work out because I didn't have contingency in case things ran long. So I knew that my videographer and my photographer had to be on the road at a certain time. I'm thinking, shoot, we good. We ain't gonna hit that time. We gonna be out. We gonna be out by, well, I don't know what the time was. We gonna be out by this time. It's like, cool. And then that was not the case. Right. So, they finished it out. They gave us what they could give us, but then both of them had to get on the road. Mm-hmm. But I should have had a backup plan just in case things ran long, so that we could still have pictures for the reception. Yeah. So if I had to do that over again, I would have a backup plan. But then another thing that I would do over again is I would plan the day different. I plan the day different. Yeah. Because having a wedding is a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. Having a reception is a lot of energy. Mm-hmm.
Would you start it later?
I think I probably would do it on different days.
So have the wedding on one day and then the reception on
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Because think about it, babe. Like, think about it. So how long did it take you to do your makeup for that day?
I have no idea.
It was a long time.
Maybe about an hour.
About an hour, right? Mm-hmm. It takes you about an hour to do the makeup. It takes you about an hour to get ready in terms of, all the type of stuff that you wanted to do. And we didn't even, were intentional about pictures. We were just getting action shots.
Right.
So we weren't intentional about pictures. If we would have been intentional about pictures, that's another hour that you're gonna set aside to, hey, we got to take these pictures.
Right.
Like, if we would have did it that way, it would have been such a long process just to get through the wedding. Mm-hmm. And okay, so now I'm expected to have this energy at this reception. Even in our youth, that's just not smart. I probably would have just said, hey, let's get married on this Saturday, but let's have the reception on another time, because then there's no there would have been no rush to get from point A to point B. There wasn't a rush then because our reception was so late, but still,
Yeah.
like, you still had something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
What if that was the only thing? And then you were free. Okay, you know, what do we want to go take pictures at Forest Park? We can, you know, but we don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time. And I think that there was members of your family had to go to the reception place to decorate there, like right afterwards.
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't have liked. I was just like, hey, enjoy that time, and then on another day we can focus on the reception. Because I mean, it ain't like we press for time. We can celebrate at any time.
I hear you. I mean, it's an idea.
I mean, it's not
definitely it's an idea.
Just for me, because I wanted the party to be more, like, have more energy.
Yeah.
And I understood why it didn't, because it's been a long day for everybody.
Yeah. And I think that for us, like, once we knew that we were not going, and I don't know why we didn't change the time of the reception to move it up, like when we knew that we weren't going to be able to use the basement. Because that was the plan. It was to have the wedding
and
reception
then reception right after, and
in
then
the basement, and then go. And so that's why we had planned it so late, was so that we could, wrap up the reception at the church and then have time to get over to like the after party reception. But once we found out we didn't have the basement, then I don't know why we didn't move it up. I don't know if we just weren't able to. I can't remember now.
We probably, I don't know. Well, we probably just weren't thinking on that wavelength, baby. Like, it was 1,000,001 decisions to make.
Yeah.
And
on top of trying to manage emotions.
Right.
And
and people's schedules. And I got people flying in from this place, and I got to make sure that they have this information, and got to make sure like that we had to do the seating chart for the doggone.
Oh, the seating chart.
Oh, like, that was something. And you got to do like, this person showed up, but she went on the list. Are we gonna let her in? Like, it just was a lot.
It was a lot.
So yeah, I'm never doing that again. Never.
Well, yeah.
Never, ever.
No, I think. Well, yeah. I mean, we're not gonna get married again, but we can definitely like renew our vows.
We can renew our vows, but
and we've learned, right? And we have learned how to schedule and plan based on our verse.
Based on a verse. So, like, I would probably do. So let's say we do a 10th, like, wedding vow renewal. Well, I would do like learning from that first experience. If we wanted to do like an actual reception, I would make that reception thing that you put your energy towards. And maybe the vow renewal is something that's intimate with us, where it's just going to be us, maybe family, but like, then everybody else comes to the reception to celebrate the vow renewal.
Yeah.
But the actual thing, it can be low intensity, low, like we just doing it, and then,
just go party and celebrate.
Go party, full regalia.
I would do everything all in the same venue. So have like our renewal ceremony, right? And then everybody leave the area and go have like a little cocktail hour.
So
while they flip the room.
You want to do what CJ did. So CJ, all his stuff was in the same venue.
Yes. Well, we didn't. Yes. We didn't go to the reception.
No.
Like we left before the reception.
Before the reception.
Yeah, we went to the cocktail. We went to the ceremony and the cocktail hour, but we didn't go back up to the reception.
Right.
But yes,
it was all in the same place.
Yes. Like, I would do something like that, because I feel like that, as far as timing goes, I feel like that works better than us having to leave. We have children entering the chat.
We do. So that's the wedding. What else? I mean, are we missing something?
No, I mean there is definitely more that we could talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we
We
ain't got
ain't
that
got a
much
lot of
time.
time. Yeah. I
We ain't
mean,
got that much
how
time.
in depth do you want to get? Like,
Exactly, because we could definitely peel back some
we got
layers,
stories for days.
right? But
Shoot, wedding party mishaps.
yeah,
What people showing up, or like making sure that people don't show up.
right. That's why we had to have security at
See
the
it?
wedding,
Right. There was a reason that we needed security at the wedding.
right?
Um, just there's a lot going on. So,
Yeah. So I mean, if you got questions,
hmm if you got
just
questions, send it
drop
to
it in
us.
the
Right,
comments.
send it to
Let
us.
us know, and we will definitely.
Maybe we'll talk about our premarital counseling on another episode or something. But
Yeah.
we did go through the premarital counseling phase during
Mhm.
that engagement phase.
Yeah.
That was definitely worth it, needed.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe that's another one. But yeah, if y'all want to know something specific about it,
Yeah.
make sure you ask the questions. But other than that, like that's the, that's the meat and potatoes of it.
Yep. Yep. I feel like we hit
Yeah.
the high parts of it. So yeah. Well, babe, if there's nothing else, we can go ahead and wrap it up.
All right, cool. Thank you guys so much for listening to us today, riding with us. Those that made it this far, y'all are the real ones. Um, and if you had to piece it together, still we love you.
Right. Thank you for driving them views and them
Driving
watch
them
hours
views
up,
and watch
baby.
hours out. Yeah, we
We
appreciate,
appreciate
all
it.
of the support.
Yeah.
Hopefully something that we said can help heal or rehabilitate you or your relationship. That's what it's all about. So if there is nothing else, baby, I love you.
I love you.
All right. And we are done.
Bye.
Peace.